What's going, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your boy Race Blaze. If you're new channel and subscribe to all that great stuff. All right, so today I was exploring Niagara and I figure, let me try to make Doctor Strange portal effect. So basically, this is the result I got. I have the whole sparks, flowing around. I also have like, the particles emitting light as well. So, oh, actually, I'm not supposed to move that. So if I come over here and I move him, see that he has like light all over him. So the way I made this it wasn't really that difficult, to be honest. It's just you exploring different settings on, how you can do this, to be honest. So yeah, and if you notice the particles is actually, um, you know, interacting with the environment as well. So yeah, let me just show you guys how I made this. I'm gonna delete the particle just because it's really slow, to be honest. Like it takes a lot of the VRAM. Just give me one moment. Okay, yo, so here is the particle system that I created. So basically I used Niagara fountain. So basically what you want to do is you want to go here, go to FX, go to Niagara system. You want to click that and then create a fountain. So pretty much that's what I did. And when you do that, you're going to have this setting come up. Okay. So now what you want to do is I'm going to show you guys like, step-by-step process. Okay. Because I watched some tutorials and some people don't really show the step by step, which is kind of frustrating, but yeah. But anyways, let's see here. It's a little bit slow, I apologize. So our scene is empty now. So I'm gonna click on this fountain here. So basically this is what I have. So what I did was I used the spawn rate of 500 and then I added a torus location. So pretty much you want to go to that and then type torus location. And if you want, you can use my settings. You don't have to, this is your choice. But again, if you're thinking of making a portal like Doctor Strange, I figure you want to do that. And then I added velocity to sort of like make it look, more organic, because if I turn this off, it's just going to be rotating around like a circle, which is not ideal, right? So you want it to splash out a little bit, like that imperfection. I don't know how to explain, but yeah, that's how Doctor Strange, portal works. And then what I added also was gravity. Obviously, you can leave it at 980. The drag, I left it at the same 0.25. And then the rotational drag, I kept it at 500. And I added vortex velocity. So basically, this will sort of like affect the rotation. So if I put this to 0, you can see that it's just looking ridiculous. So put this back to 5. It's just basically the speed of the the particles, right? If you want it to be faster, you can put that as well. So under the particle state, you're gonna kill particles with 1 life, okay? And pretty much added collision, and that was it, yo. And then I reduced the size of the particles and changed the emission. I just used like pretty much basic material, really. So this is how easy it is to create that effect that I showed you. All right. And then I added light renderer, obviously, to give my environment a glow. So basically, when you add the light renderer, you want to remove the inverse square and then click on affect translucency, which will basically affect materials that has translucency. And then the radius scale, if you want, you can put this to high. This is just, let me show you guys what that does actually. So if I bring this here, so this affects, how much light is, affecting the scene, right? So if I put this to 0.5, you can see that light will be very, very, small, right? Like look at that, really small. So this radius scale actually affects the light. I leave it out at 1. Okay. So I'm going to delete this from my viewport because it's going to be slow. And then I created another, so I should name this as, this is main. Okay. So what I did next was, I just duplicated this node here, so you can hold Control W. So I'm going to disable this, and then I have the sort of the outburst. So basically this is just like the secondary version of the particle. All right. So you just want to have, like, your particles just like, you want to have it spread out. That's just the most important thing. So basically that's what that is doing. And for this, the setting is the same particle spawn rate. I increased that to 1500 just because, the size of the particles is much smaller. And then the torus location is pretty much same with what we have in the main. And then the velocity pretty much same. The vortex force. Now here I added the vortex force. So basically you want to go to your particle spawn vortex, right? Vortex force. So you want to increase this to 400 just to have that speed. Now again, it's your choice. I can't really tell you what to do about that. It's just what you want, right? And then I made this to -5. That doesn't really do much, but I just felt like it fit the scene properly, so I did that. And pretty much that's everything, and the rest of the settings are pretty much the same. This vortex velocity is just the speed. I wanted the variation. I wanted it to be different from the main. Okay, so that's why I made this a 7. All right, and then I reduced the scale sprite size to 0.5. For this one, I didn't really add the emission just because I just used the default sprite material because I want the particles to, I just want the particles to not glow, if that makes sense. So again, it's a mixture, to make it look organic. It's sort of what they did in Doctor Strange. And then I added light render as well, and then put this as 1. So pretty much that is what we have. And so if I bring this to the scene here, let me bring this to scene. So pretty much this is what we have. It's like, so yeah, so pretty much this is what we have just with those 2 nodes. So again, I wanted to do it that way just because to me, I just feel like it's better and it makes more sense. At least there is variation, right? That's what I want. Because you don't want it to all look the same. If not, it won't look nice. So I just had it like that. Okay. All right. So let me turn this off here. So the next one, let's turn this off real quick. So the next one is pretty much the same material, but this one is kind of like it's kind of glowing a little bit, but it's pretty much same with the main. I just changed a little bit of the settings. Okay, and I'll show you what I changed. So this one, I'll call it glow. Or not glow. I know what this is actually. Let's call this spread 1. How about that? Okay, so the spawn rate should be 500, same thing. Torus location, all same. The velocity, however, I changed that to -10, just so that my particle can like go behind the scene. I'll show you guys what that is doing. So you can see that this is actually going backwards. So pretty much that's why I had it at -10. Okay, it just looks nice when you do that. You can do it at -5, but I'm gonna leave it at -10. And then I added gravity force. Now the particle state, this is the most important thing for this one, because when you kill the particles here, I'll show you guys what that does. So when I kill the particles, we have this, okay? So it's like really nothing, right? So you want the particles to accumulate over time, so without dying, right? So pretty much that's why I ticked off the kill particles, right? And then I said let it live longer. But there's a twist in this, in the sense that you want the lifetime to be really, really low, So pretty much, how do you reduce the lifetime? So you want to go to your initial particle here, and I believe the lifetime is here. So 0.1, I had mine at 0.1. So basically this would die at 0.1 seconds. Now I can, if I want, I can have this to die at even less, so we're gonna have something like this. Again, this is your choice. It depends on what fits your scene, so this still looks pretty much okay. Actually, I believe this is even better. So I'll use this 0.1, 0.05 actually. So we're gonna go with this 0.05 second. It just looks better. So this next node is actually the floor. So I'm gonna call this left floor, or if that makes sense. So basically, if you guys watch, how Doctor Strange particles work, there is some emission coming out of the particles on the floor level and just spreading out. Okay, so we had to do that. So the way I did that was obviously put the spawn rate at 500, and then the spare location, I had to use the spare location so we can actually change, the way the particles is being spawned, right? And so I kept this as at 180 because that will affect my location. So I'll show you guys here. Let me see. Okay, y'all. So pretty much like I was saying, the left floor node is basically, the particles just being on the floor. So the way I set that up was pretty much, it wasn't really that complicated. So for the left floor, I'll call this the right floor as well. So this is the right floor, right? So for that, we just had to, the only difference I did was I used the sphere location, which allowed me to change the way the particle is being spawned, because, previously we were using torus location, but you have to use the sphere location so you can have like a directional particle being spawned out. And then I had the settings. Now this settings is just to, put the particle starting point from the ground floor. And yeah. And also the velocity is sort of like the direction as well. So mostly I just changed this to like 1000. And pretty much everything was same, the light render same as the previous settings. And then the right floor, all I just did was I changed this to negative because it's going to the other side. And likewise this to negative as well. And that's how I made this, on Doctor Strange particle effect. Now, to be honest, I'm gonna be exploring more with this Niagara. I've not really got into Niagara. I've used it before, to do some for my project, but like I've not really gone in depth, you know what I mean? So I'm really excited to. As you can see, the particles, it spawns from the character as well. Like there's collision happening. So this is very impressive. Normally in Maya, you can't really have this running because your stuff is gonna crash a lot. You guys know what I mean. However, this is like really taking a lot of my memories. So yeah. Well, anyways, let me know what you guys think about this Doctor Strange portal effect. If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. If it helped you, let me know in the comments. And pretty much, I'll see you guys next time. And take it easy, and I'm out. Booyah.